So earlier, I was checking my whole Yahoo News thing or whatever, and I saw this article about a 62-year-old that died because when he was on a plane, the entire staff just basically ignored him going into like physical distress. From what I can remember, it was something where he had like a little bit of an issue before he boarded. They checked on him, whatever. They boarded him anyway, because I guess they didn't think it was as bad. But then when he was on the plane, it started to get worse. He was becoming non-responsive. He was going in and out of consciousness, and it was clear that he was in a situation. And they basically decided to land and deboard as usual. And then once they deboarded, and then I guess the flight attendants and everybody like taxied away, then they sent somebody to check on him or whatever. And they worked on him in an ambulance, CPR and everything. They said they used CPR and defibrillated him for a while, but ultimately he ended up passing away. And the first thing I thought about was, it's just yet another demonstration of how trash the employee market is right now. Like, people will say that it's a rough market and it's hard to find a job, but that's just not true. It's with stuff like Indeed and Hire, you can find a job in 5 minutes because it's so hard for people to find halfway decent employees. Like, they will take trash employees because it's just nothing to pick from right now. And it's all this new generation. Like, I know a lot of people who employ people or hire people or whatever, and the market right now is garbage. And it's just a whole bunch of people that were never taught how to be an employee, how to hold a job, how to get a job, how to act on the job. Like, I was watching the Chris Jobson channel yesterday, and he was talking about the same thing, but in a slightly different context. But it's like, the employee market is just garbage. And it's the fault of this new mindset that the younger are smarter than the older. Like, I will never forget hearing young people talk about how the older people need to listen to them so that they can teach them how the new way that the world works is. And I thought that was the stupidest thing I have ever heard. The only thing dumber than that was when I had somebody tell me that men need to let women teach us how to be men. A whole different video. But my point is, the ability for people to just be employees and be in an employee setting is almost gone. Like, the 40s and up, we pretty much, a lot of us can hold it down. Some of the 30s to 40s are doable. 20 and under, trash. Straight trash. Trash. Straight trash. It's so, like, and I mean, sure, there's some anomalies or whatever, but I'm so glad my son decided to go to the military. So you don't have to even interact with these people, because just trash. Like, I had somebody tell me one time, this is going to be how I'm going to demonstrate my point, and I'm going to be done. He said, if he on a job and the manager tell him to do something and he don't understand why he doing it, he's not going to just do what they say. He needs an explanation first. And I said, you don't deserve an explanation because you don't pay for nothing. And he goes, well, that is just because they're the ones that pay me doesn't mean that they don't have to tell me why I'm doing what I'm doing. I said, that's exactly what it means. And he's like, somehow he tried to bring up the military because he was in the military. And I was like, so you mean to tell me when you was in the military and one of your commanding officers gave you an order, you stood there and looked at them and told them that they needed to explain it to you so you could understand first? And he was like, well, that's different. And I'm like, no, it's not. Because the point is authority. I was like, if you work on a job and they pay you to work. They don't pay you to talk, to question. Like, I was like, dude, you're a horrible employee. I will fire you in a month. He's like, well, I would never work for somebody like you. I was like, that's my point. Like, I do understand. I can't say I don't understand. I understand. I would say the problem is too many of y'all that think that what you think, how you feel, and what you say should matter in all situations. And it just don't. There's a lot of situations that you are in to where you just need to shut up and just go with the flow. And if you don't like it, then you need to have your own money to do your own in all areas. You don't get to go in the grocery store and tell them how to stock the shelves. You don't get to go in the job and tell them how they supposed to run it. Like, you don't get to ask somebody to hire you and pay you, but then tell them how you gonna show up for work. Like, that's not how it works. But the sad part is so many of these younger people are idiots that the workforce is just flooded with them because it's not enough options to just hire better. Like, I'll say this. If you think that you at 32 are more wise than 62, you're an idiot. Now, can you have a knowledge base or a skill set in a like distilled area that boosts you up over that person? Of course. Anybody can have a specialty or a select study or whatever. But if you think just overall, if a person trying to kick wisdom to you and they got a decade of life over you and you think they can't tell you nothing, you're a moron. My phrase has always been, the man who thinks he can't be taught is the man that has the most to learn. And it is so true when you look around the world of the people who are out today. They're trash. And that's how you end up getting people hanging up on people. This is also from the Chris Jobson channel. Hanging up on people in emergency call centers. You got this flight full of people that let this old dude die. Like, all this because you got a generation of young people that think they know everything when they know less than nothing. It's sad.